Hi, Wicked Witch of LA here, and thank you so much for joining me in today's video. So today I'm going to be giving you a little bit of an intro on plant magic and how to work with plants. Now, I know a lot of you were expecting the Ouija board video to be next because I did a live on my Instagram. I am having a couple technical difficulties on that, so bear with me. That video will be up as soon as I can resolve that issue. But in the meantime, I was out harvesting some plants and I kind of had this idea to talk about it, the way that I approach plant magic and all the such. So I'm going to give just like this video is not going to be too long, I hope, but just a quick little intro on plant magic, what it consists of, and how you can apply it into your craft. So most likely, you already do. If you've ever done a spell that involves herbs, essential oils, any type of plant, flower, bark, resin, you've done plant magic before. And plant magic is the oldest, and I mean like the oldest practice in witchcraft to exist. Plants are one of the first forms of life on the earth. They were here before humans were. So they old. They're really old. So there's a lot of wisdom that comes with working plant magic. It's very, very powerful. And it's no wonder that, you know, being the first craft that people have used in witchcraft, using plants, and that it's still just as strong today, you know, and now it's a lot more accessible to us because we have herbs being sold in stores, flowers, there's plant nurseries available, you can order plants online, essential oils, powders, there's a lot. It's very, very easy to come across plants and use them into your craft. And a big thing that a lot of new witches are missing in plant magic, and it's really important to know this, especially if you're starting off, is that plant magic is very spirit heavy. Now, in my crafts of traditional witchcraft, and other paths of witchcraft believe in this, is land spirits and earth spirits. Almost every craft believes in that. In traditional witchcraft, we do a lot of personal working with land spirits, working with local spirits, and plant spirits. That kind of ties together with land spirits. And in traditional witchcraft, it's really important that you have a good, healthy relationship with your local plants that are growing around you, the plants that you own, because you work together. You know, as witches, we actually depend very heavily on the earth, very heavily, and the life that it gives for our magic. It's a big source of power. It's probably the biggest source of power to us. So it's really important that we always respect and that we learn to establish a good relationship with plants. Now, like I said before, we've all used plants in our magic. When you've done protective work, you've probably used something like black pepper or rosemary. If you're doing love workings, you've probably used roses or lavender or things like that. And there's a couple things that you want to do when you're working with plants and incorporating them into your magic. So a big thing that's really important, and it's beginning to lose its momentum. So if you're hearing this, please, promise me you'll do this. It's really important that you always thank your plants. Always thank the herbs, the roots that you're working with. You might start hearing me say roots a lot. My other practices of hoodoo, we refer to all the plants as roots. So you may hear me say roots a lot. Just know that roots is not just the little root, it's the whole plant. But it's really important that we bless and that we thank our roots. You know, they were harvested, they were plucked, they were trimmed, they were cut from their source just so they can be here with us. So it's really important that we are grateful for that process. And a couple ways that we can show our gratitude to plant spirits is a simple thank you. And that's pretty much it. You know, when you're going out to harvest your own plants, like here I have citronella, rue, Jerusalem sage, bamboo. I have other stuff lying around that I just harvested recently. It's really important that, especially when you're going out to harvest your own plants, you're cutting it yourself, you're trimming it yourself, you're uprooting yourself, or it yourself. It's really important that you thank the spirit. You know, it's giving you something, it's allowing you to have something. So it's really important that you always give thanks to the spirit. Now, a little tip beforehand, you want to make sure that you have permission before you start harvesting plants. If you're going out to harvest herbs from your garden, or if there's a plant that grows in your area that you want to collect, you always want to ask permission first. Now, this is for plants that you're harvesting yourself, not plants that you are buying from the store, okay? So, for example, with my citronella, I ask it beforehand. I want to do something with my spell. I want to restock on you because this is an awesome plant to have, by the way. If you have citronella near you, please get some. It's amazing for prosperity work. But, you want to ask permission because that plant may not always want to give you something. It may not be ready to give you something. So ask for permission if you can take from it. And you'll know when you have the permission. You'll feel good. You'll feel good energy. You'll sometimes even hear like a go ahead. You'll feel it. And you can go ahead and harvest what you need and only take what you need. Don't go bleeding this plant dry because you're going to end up stressing the plant or even killing it. So only take what you need. Now, once you've taken from the plant, it's really important that you leave an offering or a thank you. Again, going back to the thanks. Now, the most common offering to give is water, and you really can't go with giving a plant water. You can spritz it, you can just give it a little drink of water. That's honestly more than enough. It's really important that I say this next part. For the love of the gods and goddesses, please do not give plants that you're going out to harvest yourself from nature, from a trail, do not give them seeds. Because those seeds may grow and they could potentially be harmful to the local ecosystem. So it's really important that you, again, don't give them apple seeds, orange seeds, or the seeds of another plant, because again, that can grow and it could be very harmful. So your safest bet will be water. If for some reason you don't have water with you, you can't give them that, you can also just clean up the area. If you see dead leaves on the plant, if you see garbage or trash lying around, you can actually do the plant a favor and you can do a little cleanup for it. That's a really good way of showing your thanks. But if you don't have water with you and the plant looks pretty clean and dandy, a simple thank you will suffice. You can just say, thank you, spirit of this plant. I thank you and I honor you, for giving me this or for letting me have this. It could be a simple, sincere thank you. Now, once you have harvested your plants and you've taken them with you, when you harvest plants, you want to make sure that you dry them out. If you're going to use them right away, go ahead. But if you plan on storing them, dry them out properly before storing them in a glass container like this, or you do run the risk of mold growing. So what I do is that when I have my plants, I literally will just leave them out of direct sunlight, and I'll just leave them out to dry for about 2 weeks. And then I'll go back in and check if there feels like there's still a little bit of moisture, I'll leave it for another few days. And boom, once those are dried out, you can store them away. When you plan to work with them and incorporate it into your craft, you still want to give them the thanks. If you bought, like this cinnamon powder, if you bought from a store, an herb, or you bought them from an occult shop, when you decide to plan to use them in your craft, into your spell work, you still want to pray over the roots. You still want to give them thanks because, again, you're using them for your spell. You're using their correspondences. So again, always be respectful and always show gratitude to the roots before you start using them. When you do something as simple as that, as just showing gratitude, that's a big part about establishing a good relationship with the roots. And you're going to see, believe me, you're going to see that when you build that good relationship with the roots, especially out of gratitude, your spells are going to work so much better. Your spells are going to manifest faster. You're going to get better results. They're going to, it's just overall a better thing. It's just overall better. Can't say it any other way. Because again, you've established that relationship and the spirits are blessing your spell in return. If you're someone that when you're building spells like a jar spell or you're building a mojo back or whatever you want, and you just grab your roots and you just throw them in without really saying thank you or really thinking about it, the plants, the spirit behind the plant, because again, even if you pluck them from the plant, even if you, take it away and it's dried out, that plant spirit is still there. That plant spirit energy is still with the plant. Even if you've had it dry for a year and it was a year ago, it's still present. So you want to make sure that you're always, that you have that relationship with them. Because if you're just throwing in things, you're not giving thanks, you're not giving offerings to the plants, your spell might not work as well. Your spell might be a little bit weak, or maybe the results didn't come out like you wanted them to. So again, it's very important that we build this relationship with the plant spirits. They took the time, the earth took time to grow these for you to use them. So make sure that you are giving thanks in return. And you can apply this in any form that you want. If you're making a tea, like a spell tea, for example, if you want to attract calm, healing, or love, and you want to drink some lavender tea, while you're stirring your tea, you can give thanks to that root for, the tea that you have, and then go ahead and drink it. It's the little things like that. Giving thanks is so important in plant magic. Very, very important. And once you've given your thanks and you've blessed your roots, there's so much you can do with them. Again, you can incorporate into your spells, you can make oils, different types of oils. Or one of my favorite things to do is to just hang them into your home. And that's a great way to establish and invite that plant spirit into your home. For example, I have Jerusalem sage. So this is some Jerusalem sage that I harvested locally for my area. And I have this literally just hanging in my home. And that's to attract success, to attract good energy, joy, and positive spirits. Same thing with this bamboo. This is bamboo that grows in my courtyard, and it's great for attracting success, money, and luck. So you can have those, and every now and then I'll go and I'll express my gratitude to the plant spirits, to keep that relationship going. Now, this is more of a hoodoo tidbit I'm going to give you, but we do it sometimes in traditional witchcraft as well. When you have all your roots laid out for you, let's say you're going to do a spell. Let's pretend I'm doing a money spell and I have 5 roots that I'm going to be using. Sometimes I'll have all of it mixed into a bowl together first, or a plate. And I will pray over the roots first. So I'll take the time to give them thanks, to show them my gratitude. And sometimes I'll do an offering right beforehand. So you don't have to do this part. This is, in my traditions, but you're more than welcome to incorporate it. Some people give them an offering of smoke. So you can light a little bit of incense if you have like a little incense stick, and you can just waft it around the plant. And that is symbolic, again, of a thank you. Very, very symbolic gesture of gratitude and honoring the spirit of the plant. Now, if you're old enough, you can also give them an offering of smoking tobacco, or you can even do something like marijuana. If it's legal in your area, please, only if it's legal, be safe, all that jazz. Don't come to me and be like, wicked, I smoked tobacco and I'm 6 years old and I got in trouble. No, please don't do that. use your noggin. But there are times where like I'll take a little, when I'm doing offerings, I'll take a hit and I'll blow the smoke onto the roots or onto an altar, whatever it is I'm offering to. But again, not everyone smokes, so you can just light an incense stick and just waft it around your roots. And that's a good way of honoring the plants and giving them a little offering. Now, of course, from there, you can use it in your spell however you wish. And that's pretty much it for today. I know that was kind of a weird video. It really just came to me like that to talk about plants and working with plant magic. And think of this as an intro. I may make more videos on plant magic and working with plants in witchcraft. But this is a good way to start off, the base of it is to establish a good relationship, be kind, show gratitude to the plants, and they'll give you a lot of love and energy in return, Just for example, this is a branch that I found in one of my nature hikes, and when I saw it, I instantly felt connected to it. And I've had it ever since, and it's a big source of power for me. So again, building that relationship, the roots will bless you in return. Your spells will be stronger. they're going to manifest better, and you're going to feel it. You're going to feel a lot of good energy around you. It's just there's really nothing to lose in this situation. Before I do let you go, I do want to say a few things, a couple like warnings and a couple like don'ts for plant magic. If you're out harvesting plants, like I said before, you do want to ask permission for the plant before you harvest. If you get a no from the plant, or you get a feeling in your gut and your intuition says, do not take from this plant, listen to that intuition. Do not take from the plant if it gives you a no. Because if you do take from a plant after it says no, you are stealing, you're forcibly taking, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to piss the spirits off. It ain't going to end up good for you. So always make sure that you have permission to take from the plants. Leave your offerings. You know, if you don't have anything to give, a simple thank you will suffice. All right, my beautiful witches, thank you. Oh my God, I can't talk today. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, this video was very spontaneous, so I just kind of wanted to do something like this. So yeah, let me know what you think down below. What are your favorite plants to work with? Let me know down below. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, I'll leave that information down below at Wicked Witch of LA. And if you're not already subscribing to my channel, what in the God's name are you doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know every time I upload a video. All right, witches, thank you so much for joining me today. Please be safe, wear a mask, and I'll see you in the next one. As always, blessed be.